My name is Nikki. Nikki does roofs and Nikki does buds. Please check out my episode on Boss Talks on the Rooftop.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Boss Talks on the Rooftop, Season 6. I'm Bryson Fowler, and today's episode has been brought to you by Kingpin Luxury. Today, I have the greatest honor of introducing one of my friends, Nikki Does Roof. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
I'm good.
You're a fool for that one. Retake.
I'm good. I'm not retaking nothing. I'm not gonna retake anything. Okay, guys. So today, Nikki is gonna ingratiate us with everything that she has going on. She's a super entrepreneur, and one of my favorite things that she does is roofing. So I'm particularly hyped up about having her on as a guest because we've been trying to perpetuate and push the narrative of the black roofer, and not only do we have black roofers, we also have black women roofers.
Sweet.
So I'm really excited to get involved in your story. I want you to tell us more about it. So I'm gonna light your cigar for you.
Okay.
Today's stick is sponsored by Heart of a Lion. It's really good smoke. We're gonna cut it with a guillotine cut with our Kingpin cutter. And we're gonna light it with our Kingpin light.
Thank you.
Just off while we light that. You can go to kingpin.com, kingpinluxury.com, pick you up a lighter, or pick you up a guillotine cut, or visit our friend at LG Cigar Lounge. Nikki Does Roofs, right? So tell us how you came up with the name. There's a huge Dallas thing. We're not gonna talk about it. We're gonna move past it. We're gonna be a little more mature about it, okay? So Nikki Does Roofs, how'd you come about the name?
I'm originally from California.
Okay.
I did real estate for over 20 years there, and then I got very happily divorced, and then moved to Texas.
So happily.
Very happily divorced and moved to Texas. So
Okay.
another friend of mine, she's a female roofer as well. She had been in roofing for about 6 years.
Wow.
Working with Tarrant Roofing, and that's actually how I got into the roofing game, was working for them, working with them, and then started my own thing. So I do Nikki Does Roofs. You know, we're right here in Dallas, so
Right.
Nikki Does Roofs and in Dallas and in Houston. And that's how I got going.
So what's been your biggest challenge being a female roofer in this industry?
I think the biggest thing is when I knock at the door, people expect to see a guy that looks like you or him that's about to climb on the roof. So they're like, their smiles are like, okay, you're gonna get on the roof. Where's the person getting on the roof? I'm getting on the roof. And I'm
You
like,
get on the roof.
You're getting on the roof? Yes, that's exactly what I get. I'm getting on the roof. So then I've actually had people get lawn chairs and watch me climb on the roof.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah.
So like it's a spectator sport for them.
Yeah, because they don't believe I'm getting on the roof, and then they're like, "Oh, you are serious? You are getting on the roof?"
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I do this all day, every day.
All day, every single day, right?
Every single day. Was definitely.
So you also do multiple things. I see your earrings. Tell us about that.
Nikki Does Buds. I own a legal virtual online dispensary here in Texas. It gets delivered right to your door through the mail.
So what's that process like? How'd you land a legal dispensary?
You know how people always say it's not about what you know, it's about who you know?
Right.
Some friends of mine were friends with a gentleman by the name of Marty Hale. He owns 420 acres in Colorado. And he was
420 acres
in Colorado.
in Colorado.
Yes. 420.
I don't,
420.
that's a huge plate.
And
I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but
it all
it's
works.
hilarious.
It all works. But he was huge in multi-level marketing years ago, made it big, billionaire, and he was in the industry and made some phone calls to some friends, which I happen to be friends with. They called me, and I looked at it, and it makes sense. You know, I'm from California. I don't smoke, but everybody else does.
Right.
You might as well make money off the people who do.
So you don't smoke?
I don't. I'm smoking a cigar, though.
Right.
I smoke cigars from time to time.
Right. It's kind of one of our bonding
Most definitely.
exercise.
And I obviously drink.
Yeah. So you got to pick one, right?
If I had to pick one, do I have to pick one?
Pick one. Pick one that you got to leave off.
That I got to leave off? Really? I don't have to choose. That's the best of both worlds. I do both.
Okay. See, that's.
This is
pick one.
America. I don't have to choose. Pick one
Pick one.
out of drinking or smoking.
Pick one.
It's going to be drinking.
That's the one you're leaving off the table.
No, this is the one I'm leaving off the table.
Oh. Give that back.
See? See? I told you.
Well, give that back. But no. So, what got you into smoking cigars?
Actually, when I got into the dispensary, you know, a lot of people who smoke cigars also smoke weed. And I've always liked, my grandfather smoked cigars.
Right.
So I grew up watching him smoke cigars and play golf, as a matter of fact.
We're not even gonna touch golf.
But
That's
true.
in a whole little thing. And
So yeah, so I grew up watching him, and doing that, and friends that I know, they smoke, and so you go out to different places and you end up trying them. And
Right.
I like the mild ones, the mild sweet ones.
yeah. Heart of Line has a line that has sweet, and then they also have a line that's a little more robust in flavor. So I like their sticks. They're actually
nice.
pretty
It's
good
actually
smoke.
pretty nice.
So I want to go back a little bit. I want to go back into the roofing industry, because that's really near and dear to my heart. Because, you know, Fowler Roofing Pros, Fowler Construction Roofing. That's our bread, where our bread is buttered. right?
Definitely.
So when you get into talking to a client, how do you get them to say yes to you? Because there's so many roofers in Texas and Dallas alone.
There's a lot of them.
There's so many roofers, like, you can wake up one day and I want to be a roofer, right? How do you combat all the competition out there?
With me, I feel that most of my clients say yes to me because it's just like when you're doing anything. There's tons of products out there, but generally when a person makes a decision to go with someone, they're generally buying you. And I always give 100% customer service. So when a person decides to go with me, they know that I'm handling the job, and anything I say, I do. So I make sure I see it from the start to finish with no problems. And that's what people love.
Absolutely. So customer service is number one on your priority list
Definitely.
in each area of your business.
Yes.
Right. So now we go into the dispensary. How do you go about, like, hey, this is going to hit you right, this is not going to hit you right, this is what you need?
Well, I give people samples, things of that nature, but a lot of times if I know someone smokes or partakes, I always ask. For example, I'll use my cousin, she's a heavy smoker, partaker. I did a tasting party. She came over to try, and I always tell everyone, with a gummy or an edible, you want to start with a small amount. Wait 30 to 45 minutes, see how you feel.
Right.
If you feel like you need more, you can add more. Don't take the whole thing, because what you can't do is you can't pull it out of your system once you've taken it in.
Right.
So,
And that's just got to wear off, because it's
it does. And she's like,
it lasts longer than the smoke.
I'm a pro, I'm a vet. I was like, just trust me, only start with a small amount and add more. Well, about 45 minutes later, she was gone.
Yeah.
And she videotaped it and it went viral. So yes.
Yeah, my first experience, I was staring at the wall for a few hours. I started getting paranoid, so I had to take a step back. I overdid it, but I had to take a step back. I was thinking like everybody else, no, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
You know.
Start small and add more as you go. That's
Absolutely.
what I say.
So, what would you tell any woman that's trying to get in the construction game, what would be your biggest piece of advice to give?
Biggest piece of advice would be, even if something seems hard, don't run away from it, stick with it. Because a lot of people think when they say, oh, you're in construction, well, how are you in construction? You can't do that. It's not hard. It's just like eating. You eat, I eat. Well, there's no difference in construction.
So what you're saying to me is that is easy.
It is, unless you have a fear of heights. But even if you have a fear of heights, you can have someone climb the roof for you.
So delegation.
Yeah.
I like telling people what to do.
Exactly.
It's one of my strongest things. Like I know.
I'm great at telling people what to do, but I don't have a fear of heights, so I don't mind getting on a roof and doing an inspection myself. That doesn't bother me.
Right. Customer service. If you have a fear of heights, find someone else to do it for you. And then closing the customer. What is closing the customer like? I always tell people that women are the driving force of the homeowners. Every time I talk to a homeowner, even if there's a man in the house that says, oh, my wife called you, go talk to her. And two, they're the new driving force behind cigar smoke. So I'm starting to see that, like, the more we cater to the woman dynamic in that industry, the more profitable and the more we're able to, like, educate people on how this goes, on how our industry works. And
I agree.
And, you know, I want to say the more money we make.
Very true.
So when you're talking to a woman and she's a potential client, what is your cues for you?
Generally, the wife wants to know how much it's going to cost. They're worried about how much is this going to cost? How much is this going to take out of the household? Does it make sense? But generally, when a woman sees another woman at the door, they're more receptive because they know that you're all about business. For you to be here taking your time away from your family or your kids, because we're normally ones that take care of kids, it has to make sense.
Right.
So they're concerned about, okay, does this make sense? Can you make it make sense for me? And because I'm a woman, they see my perspective.
Absolutely. So I appreciate you coming on. It's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
So guys, remember, Nikki does roofs, Nikki does buds. Check her out. And also remember, storms don't last, but your home should. Peace. Two things. That's a cold lighter, man. Might not get this one back.
You give me back my lighter. That's mine. I stay for. You're giving me back my lighter.
Might not get this one, baby. This Kingpin look.